Guess what? Welcome to Movie Time Machine, your retro movie review and pop culture podcast where we take movies from the past and relive them in the present and talk about what we're streaming today. I'm your Time Machine host, Chad. And joining me this week, it's a duo pod. Mr. Living Encyclopedia of Movie Knowledge, James. Thank you for joining me this evening.
You know, the more people listen to us, they'll slowly but surely realize I am full of shit. Well, but that's okay. I have enough stupid knowledge on there.
The Dewey Decimal of movie.
I'm excited about the movie we're going to review today, man. Because I was like, this is one that I watched growing up. Like, this is the only like adult movie I feel like we watched growing up that wasn't like Star Wars or the original Superman with like Christopher Reeves. Otherwise, it was like straight up cartoons and such. So,
I can't wait to talk about that.
Otherwise, Chad, welcome to your show. What have you been watching lately?
What have I been watching? Well, first of all, I want to start off with some good news because I think last time we talked, I was telling you about the show Kath and Kim, that Australian show.
Yes,
and that it was, the time was running out on Netflix at the end of the year. It was going away at the end of 2023, but somebody must have been praying because 3 or 4 days after that, or 3 or 4 days into the new year, guess what popped back up on Netflix? Kath and Kim, along with two movie specials that they did. So yeah, if you heard that and were like, oh man, I missed my chance to get in on that Kath and Kim action, well, no worries, friend.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I was worried, but I think it's funny that you're like, the way you said it out was, hey, oh man, it's going away after, in 2024. But in my head, I was still thinking like this is a newer show, not a show that was created in 2002. So it means if it's leaving Netflix, it's just going to Hulu. We'll be able to find it somewhere else. How about this, Chad? Did you know there's a US version of Kath and Kim?
No.
Yes, it is starring Molly Shannon as Kath and Selma Blair as Kim.
No way.
I am not messing with you. I went to look. I looked it up as you were talking, and I'm like, this isn't right. Oh, this is a remake. So they tried to do a U.S. version of it, and it lasted about a year.
Oh my god!
I mean, I'm excited for you to seek this out and compare, but I'm sure there's no comparison because I gotta be honest, everything in an accent is just so much better. Unless it's English people talking in like American accents, because as Amy Poehler put it, I love when they talk like this.
Right?
I don't know that they're not American.
Oh, I don't. Kath and Kim, man, some great, probably the best. Well, the Kath and Kim, right? It's Australian, so like we watched that, and then of course, like the algorithm, right? It points you into other Australian like programs, and so we started watching. Oh damn it! It was just on the tip of my tongue. Another show.
Is it like Netflix. Flight of the Conchords or something?
No, it's an Australian show. It's like one word. Shit. Anyway, it'll probably come back to me later.
How is that one word show?
That one word show, not called shit.
Shit, but from Australia.
That was pretty funny too. It's like follows. My wife was watching it, so I kind of hopped in like mid. I don't know if it's like first or second episode, but it's like a woman that works at like a law firm, but she's just like brutally honest with clients, and that's just like the whole shtick. Is that she can't. She's just like brutally honest with everybody, but it's good humor, good stuff. But it's no Kath and Kim, man. Let me tell you.
So does Kath and Kim have a laugh track?
No,
like I feel like
that's no.
Okay, because I feel like 2002 it would have a laugh track still. Like because when I look at the poster,
have a laugh track. It looks like it should, but yeah.
Well, when I look at the poster or like of the season of it, it kind of makes me have this BBC British TV show vibes where like as far as how it's filmed and where they have laugh tracks, like I don't know, Benny Hill style. and you don't, yeah, so they have to tell you why you're laughing. So okay, well that's good. I like that there's no laugh track. That makes me happy. I'll have to give this a shot. So it's still on Netflix. I'll give it.
It's still on Netflix. Give it
I'll
a
give it.
shot. It's
I'll give it a pilot shot because I just finished the show I was going to sleep to.
Oh, what was that?
Not as fun as yours. I was on a Tron kick and I started Tron Uprising, which was Disney's cartoon, like for Tron. And I'm not sure what year that came out, but basically, yeah, it's called Tron Uprising, and it's like that in between time between the 1983 or whatever Tron and Tron Legacy. But it was I enjoyed it, but also I didn't pay enough attention to realize there was only one season. So it just leaves like at this, not necessarily cliffhanger, but at a spot where you're wanting more and there is no more. So, but I really enjoyed it.
This is awesome. I'm going to write my own fan fiction.
Oh, absolutely. So I know they give me this opportunity. But as far as like, I don't know, a cartoon, like gauged towards, I don't know, teenage boys or whatnot, like, I mean, there was a lot of action. Like every episode was like pure action, so it kind of was like Ninja Turtle-esque in that way. Like there's always some sort of fighting, and it was fun because, you know, as much as in real life it's like they're murdering people, they're just de-resin programs here and there, so it's like all PC and no blood, and so you could just, it was a lot of fun. So I don't know, I enjoyed it, but I'm done with it now. So Kath and Kim, here I come.
Kath and Kim. Oh, and the other show, the other Australian show is called Fisk. Glenn Robbins, who plays the husband in Kath and Kim, is like a funny character in this Fisk show. I think he plays a character that paints portraits with his penis.
Oh my god.
But yeah, run with that Kath and Kim, and I want to hear a report.
Okay, I'll get after that. And then
man. I gotta tell you, I watched the movie that I want to give a really shit review about, but I know I just cut you off there.
Oh no, that's okay. I'm more excited about what you're excited about. So, it Armageddon?
Armageddon. No, it wasn't James's top favorite movie ever, Armageddon.
I mean, it's been a minute.
In your top 5, but
it's got to be in my top 10. But also, it's been such a long time that maybe not. Maybe it just has aged terribly. But also, at the time, I felt like it knew exactly what it was doing. So I'm sure, like, that's how it plays out this time. Like, they're doing it formula. You know exactly what's going to happen next, and I still love it.
Right. Cool.
All right, but
give that a shot. But let's talk about. Have you heard about this movie Saltburn?
Yeah, I've heard about it, and it's on my list. I have not watched it yet.
Yeah, because I think I saw it like populating for popular movies on like Letterboxd or something.
Yeah, I think it's one of those movies where I don't even know what was supposed to happen in that movie, but you saw the poster, and like between the look of the poster and when it came out and like who was like all the actors and actresses in it, you're like, oh, this is one of those Oscar Golden Globe grabs. So I figured I would see it eventually. And then now I'm just remembering your descriptor of it to me, like in text. I'm like, oh, okay, I don't need to watch this anytime soon.
Yeah, it was like these things like that, you know, all like what happened was I saw it pop on Letterboxd, and then my wife was like, oh, when I was getting my hair done today, we were talking about this movie Saltburn. Have you heard of it? And I was like, oh yeah, I was just reading a little blurb about it, you know, online, and it's like, oh yeah, it's supposed to be good, I guess, because I think Chloe Fineman, that's on SNL, she's really good at doing like impersonations and stuff. But I guess she did like some video of her family watching scenes from this movie Saltburn.
Oh, jeez.
And Angela's like, I don't know if it's like supposed to be like spoilers, so I kind of want to watch it before all of this gets spoiled. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe this is like movie with some plot twist and you know, kind of psychological thriller.
Yeah.
No.
No.
It like starts out, and I kind of like in the theme. The soundtrack has a banger soundtrack.
Okay.
There's lots of great tunes in this movie, but man, it's one of those films where like you're like waiting for something to happen, waiting for something to happen. Then it just gets kind of weird, and it was like, I don't know, it didn't make any sense to me at all. And I was like,
And
this
just a
is
big letdown because
big
nothing happened.
letdown. I mean, maybe I would have liked it if I saw this at the Lagoon Theater in like 2003.
Yeah, it had one
But
of the very very indie vibe where once you leave the theater, like, and depending on the friends you're with, you're kind of forced to be like, it was okay because it's artsy and like, what else were you expecting in this independent film?
yeah, it kind of was like a bizarro Wes Anderson movie. I don't know, like it tried to be like a serious Wes Anderson film,
See, when you
but
describe it, bizarre Wes Anderson, I just think so. It was just like Royal Tenenbaums, but if it was on Adult Swim.
right. No, that would be actually kind of cool, I think.
I'm checking out the soundtrack right now. This Modern Love, Hang Me Up to Dry, Satisfaction.
I don't
Low
know. I
by
think there's
Flowrider.
some like MGMT, Arcade Fire,
Mr. Brightside. It's got everything with Mr. Brightside in it. The Killers. All right. I mean, so do you recommend this and just like going in like with the lowest bar, like I'll get something out of it?
I don't know. Like you might. I mean, the thing is too is like the cast is amazing, but
Yeah.
it's one of
And
those
that
things, in my opinion, where like you have an amazing cast, but just a really there's like I don't know. You're not interested in any of the characters. It's I don't know. It's just like a fucking art film with like a brilliant cast, in my
so
opinion.
the cast is good, but like so and you just said it, I think that the characters weren't. I'm like, because did the cast like they acted the shit out of it and just the story didn't land at all because it's just so weird and
Yeah,
bizarre?
it bizarre and like just some scenes are definitely for like okay, you're just trying to do this to shock, just like for shock value. Is this like a Gen? Was it Gen Y? Is that where we're in now? Gen Y? Is this a
Oh
Gen
god, I
Y
don't even know
movie?
anymore.
I
So
don't
hold
know.
on.
Maybe I'm just too old for this movie, but I don't know. Across the board, like people that I've known that had watched it were just like, wow, man.
Oh, okay. So I get it. I'm like, so sorry. In my head, I don't know a lot about this movie, but I remember the poster and thinking the same thing. Like, hey, this has a great cast or a very diverse cast
Yeah.
of characters. So that's the only reason I wanted to see it. But now the way you're describing it, I'm like, maybe I can go without it. So I just looked up to see like who the director writer of it was, and now I'm like, oh, if I would have looked at that earlier, I probably would have seen this already, Chad, because the last movie they directed was my favorite movie in 2020. Promising Young Woman.
Yeah. Yeah. That is right. Which I've heard
Uh,
good things about that movie, but yeah. I'm actually now I want you to see it. I want to hear your opinions of it now.
yeah, and also, well, and then I think I mentioned this on our last or one of our last podcasts that I saw Maestro. Did I talk about that?
Yeah, you said,
And
or maybe
well,
just
and
in the chat, but
maybe it was just in the chat,
yeah.
but I was just thinking like so now that I'm looking at that, I'm like, oh, that is the other movie I saw like Carrie Mulligan in because at Maestro I felt like it was the first one I had seen that actress in where I'm like, hey, like she is killing it. Like she's like I typically haven't seen many of her movies, and I'm like, okay, she can act, not a big deal. But like I thought she really did an awesome job in Maestro. Now recalling because I totally forgot about Promising Young Woman, and Carrie Mulligan crushed it in that one too. So yeah, I definitely give that one a try. It's it could be when I don't know what to watch, I'll give it a whirl, but I'm not going to seek it out like I am other films pre-Oscar months, I guess.
Oh, she's married to Marcus Mumford from Mumford and
Mumford and
Sons.
Sons.
Yeah,
Well, that says it all. She's got to be
that's
cool.
got to be cool. Yeah,
I went and saw Wonka. Did you go see that with your kids? I can't remember.
I didn't. I want to though. I hear it's good, but what'd you think?
I really enjoyed it. It had so I like the way I said it was if you liked the movie Paddington, which was
Oh yeah,
delightful, you'll
yeah,
like this movie. So it's just very like the fun thing that I think they did with it was This isn't a spoiler or anything, but they're like, hey, like Wonka happens to be a magician, like, or that's like one of his like little talents too. So like when weird things happen, that's how it's just explained, magic, and so
Yeah.
so it just works a lot of the time. So I really enjoyed it. So I think you should definitely give it a whirl. And they didn't overdo like Oompa Loompa stuff or anything. So it was just just very enjoyable. I think you should definitely go check it out.
Yeah, it's good to hear because I feel like these type of movies where they're trying to like bring back or pull from older like material like this, like to either do like a prequel or like a sequel.
Yeah.
I think it's really hard to pull these off. So that's
Well, and it was fun that like they've done enough of like what's the author's name? Roald Dahl.
oh yeah.
Uh movies now where it's kind of like in the sense of like a Dr. Seuss situation. Like when we see more movies or takes on different content from that author's library, now they like they had like a golden ticket, like a production company style. Like so, like in the beginning, as the movie's starting, they have like a golden ticket fly kind of across the screen, stop, and it might say Wonk on it, and then it says like the Roald Dahl Company or whatever. So like they're giving their own kudos, kind of like when they do, I think it was Drake or whatever, Uncharted, that video game, and then like that was the first time I think we'd seen like the PlayStation logo and before a movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like everyone's getting their 2 cents on these movies. Mattel has their own thing now with Barbie, so I don't know. It's just kind of fun seeing like their labels on stuff. And then did I tell you I saw Ferrari was also another one I saw. And I don't know a lot about Enzo Ferrari, so it was enjoyable for me because it was definitely the movie about like the man Ferrari, like opposed to just straight up like racing cars or anything like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Is
and
this
I
the
gotta say,
prequel to Ford versus Ferrari?
yeah, it is kind of like so because and honestly that was like the only thing I knew is, and I love Ford versus Ferrari, but like I that's how I could timeline it for myself is I'm like, all right, like Enzo in that movie is, let's say, between 60 and 75 years old or something, and this one is very much like a younger version of him, and they even show like like they do flashbacks, if you will, like him in the war and things like that. So it's really cool. My one caveat, well, one, everybody acted the shit out of it. It was amazing in that aspect. But two, Penelope Cruz, who is just gorgeous at all times, plays his wife in this movie, and his wife is just this validly angry person, and like though every time she's on screen, like I was afraid of Penelope Cruz, and so like I'm like, God, man, she killed it. Like, so somebody that's always just like, oh, it feels like effortlessly gorgeous at all times, like this one, I'm like, oh my God, she scared me. So I don't know, kind of fun.
Cool. Awesome. I'm adding that to my
Yeah, I mean, and then
list.
if you didn't know that, Ferrari was also directed by Michael Mann, so Heat and Collateral, and so that's just another reason why I wanted to go see it. Miami Vice, don't forget the Miami Vice movie. Yeah, so I think that was where like I was like, oh, I'm on the fence. I kind of want to see this. I'm sure it's got Oscar buzz, and then once I remembered that it was directed by him, I was like, oh, I want to see this because you can like even the shots, the feel and tone of everything. Like you can just, I think you'd just dig it, Chad.
Awesome. Michael Mann, director of Last of the Mohicans, one of my
Yes,
favorite
that's that.
movies.
I was gonna say that would have been the draw I should have said to lure you in.
Nice. That's what you've been watching. And we have a movie coming up. We're gonna go see together in a couple weeks, right?
Dude,
Interstellar. On the
Interstellar. It's
24th.
gonna be back in theater.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't look. Is there an anniversary, or I think it, with flashback cinema, they're just throwing things out there all willy nilly. So I didn't know if it was an anniversary of some sort. But yeah, it was. I saw that it was coming out. It instantly was like, yes, that's one I would like to see in theater again, because it was definitely shot for the theater experience. So yeah, thanks for joining me on that. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's it'll be 20 years on October 26th this year. When it was
No
released.
way.
So, yeah. Or no, not 20 years. Not 20 years. 10.
Oh my God. I was trying to think. I'm like, who did I see that movie with? How old am I? Oh
10
my god!
years, not 20 years.
I was gonna say I would believe that for Inception, maybe
That was 2010.
2010.
Yeah.
So not even. Okay, I believe that for Batman Begins. Let's try
That
it
was
again.
2003, I think.
There we go.
Batman Begins. So there you go.
Oh man, scared me. 2005. We got one more. We got another year before Batman Begins turns 20, which is still kind of wild to think about. But
Yeah, that is crazy. All right.
well,
I usually mention the topic of the week. I think I forgot to do that earlier, but this week's movie is War Games, released in 1983, starring Matthew Broderick and Shelley.
Ali
No,
Sheedy,
Sheedy.
Shelley Long,
Shelley
no.
Long. Shelley
So
Shellington. Ali
I mean, so
Sheedy.
if you said Shelley Long, like I mean, it's an '80s movie. I mean, we could have gone for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
would have been okay. And also don't forget Michael Madsen.
Oh yeah. Right from the get, right?
Yeah,
In the launch room, getting the
yeah, he just
codes.
shows up. And well, the thing is like he's so I don't even know how old he would have been in the movie, but like he's so young compared to when we typically watch movies involving Michael Madsen, so where like it threw me off. Like even his voice was like not cigarette burnt yet, or anything. So it just didn't. I had to do a double take and look it up because I wasn't sure if it was actually him.
Yeah,
So
he's 66 now. So that would be
so you'd have been like in mid 20s.
20. Yeah. But
Oh, good.
yeah, so this game, War Games, I don't know if I've ever actually seen this movie before this, or maybe I'd seen clips of it. Or honestly, I probably saw it like at an age where I was like maybe too young to really either be entertained or understand like the scope of what was happening in this movie.
Oh, for sure. And that's when I said, like, when I said earlier that, like, I'd watched this with my family, like, growing up, it's because my parents really enjoyed it. And, like, so it just was on, and it was, I mean, it's a PG movie, so, like, it's fine for kids and everything. So I didn't really understand what was going on, but they enjoyed it. Therefore, I enjoyed it as far as family time. Now, watching it now, thinking, like, wait a minute. So there is no firewall on any of this stuff? Like, as it's just so pre anything like that.
Yeah.
That's what was driving me wild, and that's why unfortunately I'd really love Casey's hot take on this, so we'll have to get his quick take on it somewhere in the future. But just like everything that's happening in there, like that he can just sign in from home. I mean, I'm sure this movie is what made every kid in America that saw it want a computer going, I could change my grades. Like,
You're right.
and it's not gonna, and then no one can do anything about it. Like we can't trace this back, and like all this stuff. So
You could
it's
change
just
your grades or maybe start a thermonuclear war.
yeah, or start a thermonuclear war. So like I don't know. It's just, and also just like quite the time too. I mean, with the '80s, I'm watching The Americans right now, and just everything that's happening on that show,
Oh
and
yeah.
then
Love that
taking
show.
it into this situation where they think that somebody is messing with, like, is about to launch a nuclear warhead, and like how are we going to react, and I don't know, it's just such a wild concept, even in general. Like if in my head that, like, let's say the Soviet Union like did launch nukes at us, our response is to just launch nukes back, and like so the whole world gets destroyed. Like
Yeah.
I don't understand the logic behind it. It's like if it happens, it's like, well, that sucks. Like, I don't know. Like,
The way that I learned the term, like the phrase like mutually assured destruction, like MAD, is that I had an Atari game that was called MAD, but was like an acronym. And it was like M.A.D.D, and it was like mutually assured destruction. And it was kind of like a missile command clone, where you had to like fight bombers that were flying overhead before they nuked your bases, kind of
oh,
thing.
okay.
But I was also looking up. Do you recall or ever remember a movie called The Day After? It was a made for TV movie.
So
about what would happen like after like a nuclear confrontation.
so happy you brought this up
Yeah.
because no, I've never even heard of this before. But last night's episode of The Americans, they watched that movie as a family, and I had to look up. I'm like, is this a real TV movie that like everybody watched, like in 80 whatever? And
Yeah.
yes, yes, it was.
Yeah, this came out. So War Games came out like spring of '83, or it was like a summer like blockbuster kickoff movie, right? So it came out in May, I think. And then the day after released, I think it was November of that same year.
Geez, they were really trying to get everybody through fear. Thanks, Hollywood.
Yeah. That was yeah, I remember I think we watched I don't remember I didn't it wasn't like an event for like my family watching it at home, but I remember like a teacher like recording it, and I remember watching it a couple years later after that.
Got it. Which would like, and I feel like that during that time that makes sense to me. Like that, like in school, like it was made for TV-ish movie, and like they had schools watch us to be like, hey guys, this is why we don't want to do wars. So whether it was like, I don't know, propaganda movie or not, like I guess I just don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think like when I look at that stuff like that or movies that came out, or sorry, when I was watching The Americans and like the family was sitting around watching this, it just made me think of like the 50s, like duck and cover like the situation where hey kids, like here's the sirens, get under your desk, and like I'm like, is just the illusion of safety, like what is duck and cover going to do if we get nuked in any way, shape, or
Right.
form?
Right.
And then the other thing, and I can't remember if I thought it or if it was in the show, but they were watching the day after, I think like one of the kids brought it up like, hey, would that ever happen to us, like, or could that happen here? And they're like talking about how, hey, that's what mom and dad are trying to prevent. But like remember, like when everybody's like, oh, the Soviet Union is going to do this, like be careful, we dropped two of those things like in
Yeah.
like Japan. So like why are we acting like we're like so high and mighty or better, like oh my gosh, they're the worst, they have all these nukes and could do this? We did do this. Like I don't know, it just guess it's more of a
Yeah.
political statement at that point, so I'll
Right.
stop. I just don't understand. I just don't understand the world when it comes to all the hatred and stuff like that. um let's get back to the movie though. Ali Sheedy, wow, I was gonna say,
Wow.
man, like as far as like him being like the nerdy guy on computers, not doing super great in school per like being able to see his grades and everything like that. I was gonna say, Ali Sheedy really like he got like the best looking girl in school over there, but also she wasn't doing great either, not at least in the class she was in. Um, and then Matthew Broderick, I was questioning this. Like this is pre Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So this is like one of his like claim to fame movies, like where he
Yeah.
forgot on the map. So super young Matthew Broderick, but I thought they both did a really good job as far as like being like in their mid 20s or actually earlier, probably like or like 19 to 20 years old, and doing movies like this. So I don't know. It's really, I enjoy the whole movie as far as how it got laid down. I think that NORAD station, I think in the trivia it said like they wish they had a like a control room like this, like where it looks like NASA and the massive screens back there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that was the other thing I read, that like we didn't have massive screens like that, so they just had to do the rear projectors to like make them that huge. And it's just interesting looking at how they had to make movies then to now, like one of those things where we would just throw up a flat well, we probably wouldn't even throw up an LED, it would just be a green paint, I guess, at this point. And then we would
Yeah.
just put it in the
True.
background.
True.
So don't even have to have the technology anymore, or that the actual TV there. But yeah, just the idea that that kid could and they call him a hacker when I don't even know, like, did he hack into there? I mean, I get it, he was dialing a bunch of numbers and tried to talk to computers, but essentially like it's like he was playing World of Warcraft against his buddy across town, like when we did dial up and had to link in so you could play World Warcraft 2 against your friend. Like like I don't know why
World
computers
of
were.
thermonuclear warcraft.
Well, I just don't know why. Yeah, exactly. That'd be a great game. I just don't know why like computers are like why. I don't know. There's lots of things in the world where I don't understand, like why we didn't think of taking precaution beforehand. Like, oh, you don't. This computer can easily just talk to this computer. Why? Why is that a thing? Especially with like something as important as the government. But
Right, because like when you want to proliferate these things, you only talk about like the benefits. It kind of reminds me of like in the 90s when they're always talking about like the information superhighway and
Oh
being
yeah,
able to get information like, you know, that's
immediately.
immediately. Yeah, then it's like, oh, but also like you can get news on the spot. There's like, yeah, then the spread of misinformation and like everything else like
Oh yeah, we just never.
travels just as fast, and you can get information on how to make a bomb or
Oh, exactly. Like, yeah, we never think about. You're right. We only think about the benefits until something happens. We're like,
right.
ooh, we better put some precautions on this. Yeah, I love the way you said that though. It just made me think of Cable Guy. The future is now.
Yeah.
he's like, he's like, you can play Mortal Kombat with a friend in Vietnam.
Right.
And
It
oh
is.
man,
There was at that time too, I was reading these books by this, they call him like a futurist, like these nonfiction books. What was it? Alvin Toffler, and he was writing about a lot of these things, like about like the information warfare, and just like how, and he wrote these books like in the late 70s about how like it's going to change like like our societal structures, like how we interact with each other. It's going to create huge gaps in like who has like money, who's rich, who's like the privileged, and those who are disconnected and poor and broke and struggling. It's like, man, the guy was ahead of his time. Alvin
God,
Toffler. So yeah, he wrote I think Future Shock was one of them, but now you can see like cool like YouTube interviews with them as well. I think he's dead and gone, but yeah, he's one of those guys.
that's the thing is like some of these sci-fi writers, like even Philip K. Dick, like there's like to an extent there's stuff that is happening or like clearly being written in the 50s, and then all of a sudden like wow that's crazy 7 years later like we're talking about some of this stuff. Like it just kind of blows your mind like about what it was either them seeing what could be or just trying to be like talking in the future that is then or not future fictional stuff that is real now.
Yeah,
um
not to get too sidetracked, but just talking about like future and what things are, as technology progresses, like things that you see in movies and then like becoming reality. Have you seen these translucent LG TV screens?
no.
So like you could watch them, right? So just what like you would normal TV, but then there's like a setting to where it's like there must be some kind of like backer screen on it, but where it goes down and you could like see through the TV, right?
Like
And it has
to the
like
wall
it's
behind.
yeah. And
So
so like
like
in real life applications, like, oh, now I can see all my cables and wires and everything.
well, yeah, but I was just thinking like so I'm like so but I try to think in like a Tony Stark fashion, like okay, so he's watching this, clicks it off, and now it's just like see through, and like you can see all the way like through the room.
Now he's like
Um,
grabbing things like a Minority Report.
oh, there's that, yeah, putting on like the glove. Oh man,
Yeah.
I love me some Minority
But
Report
the
too.
cool thing about it was that so part of like the screen that was like the black background would disappear
Yeah.
and you could see through it, but then there was also an image like walking across the screen. So like there was like some screensavers they had where it's like, oh, you could turn it where it looks like an aquarium and it's like 3D, and I don't know, amazing.
So just like it's something after the TV turns off. It doesn't have to just be the black screen. It can use the lowest amount of power to continue being art or something. I'm
I
looking at it
guess
right now.
something like that.
Translucent
Yeah.
LG or transparent.
Transparent, that's what I meant.
Oh man, yeah, I see what you're talking about.
So yeah, really
Well,
cool.
that's
So
wild.
but
Okay.
I think they cost like tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm just,
So
or well, like I don't know how accurate this is, but the first two that popped up is 20,000 and 15,000, depending on the sizing. I'm guessing. Yeah.
yikes.
Well,
Well, back to war games.
back to war games.
Kind of like what you're saying though, like when you're talking about like that war room aspect of it, and like all those screens and them having to use like the projectors and everything to like show that. Like I didn't even like when you look back at it now, like oh yeah, obviously like it just anything is like that. Think of like big giant screens at like like sports arenas or like in sports bars.
Oh yeah,
Just like the
absolutely.
number of plethora of screens that we have, I know it's not too hard to imagine that now, like looking at this film, but seeing how they had to kind of create those spaces. I love that
Like
shit.
how, yeah, like making that. Actually, I have it right here. Making the NORAD command center cost $1 million. Like that's that just felt, it feels wild for how dated everything was, but I not. But then it wasn't. Like I get it, but also they didn't have LED lights. Like now, like everything costs so cheap because of
Yes.
that. Another two things that I was reading up that I thought was interesting. So hacking wasn't actually illegal when the movie came out. So that's like another thing that just blows my mind, because they didn't know what people could do. And that didn't happen until the Comprehensive Crime Control Act of 84 or Computer Fraud and Abuse Act of 86. Which sounds like they utilized the movie War Games to show Reagan to be like, hey, this could happen. Like we need to do something. So and then the other fun fact, I don't know who this person is, and I'm wondering if you know the name. So uh uh what's his name? I was gonna say Ferris Bueller.
Oh, hold on, I just said the page.
Why am
Burner.
I'm having a brain
Matthew
fart.
Broderick.
Matthew Broderick. I was like, I want to get there without looking it up. Well, anyways, his character was inspired by a real life hacker David Scott Lewis. Is that a familiar name to you?
No,
The
David
only
Scott
trivia on
Lewis.
it says it's inspired by David Scott Lewis, who isn't allowed to discuss whether he hacked into a military computer. Like,
Oh,
fun fact.
he
Okay,
did.
so he isn't allowed to discuss whether he did or did not.
My God.
So is he in jail? Like I'm just so confused. But no, it's just I mean, it's just fun. Like that's why I kind of want to have Casey on here, because it when looking at Matthew Broderick's computer and his setup in his room and everything like that, I just feel like Casey would be able to nerd out a lot. Like even like you growing up, did you have like parents or friends' parents that like had some sort of similar setup, or at least like what I don't even remember the modem getting like the taking like the rotary dial phone basically had and putting it into like a modem thing.
Yeah, never. I never
I've
had
seen it in the
any friends
movies, but
that
that's
had.
it.
Yeah, same here. I don't. I think I was like in high school until I actually knew anyone that had access to the internet. Um, like
Yeah,
late
from
in
like
high
at
school.
home. Like
So
yeah,
like
nobody at home did. It was like
yeah,
straight school or work.
yeah, exactly.
I
And
gotcha.
then God, to be honest, didn't have very many friends that even had like home computers. I remember one friend that had like it was maybe like a Apple IIe, I don't know, like the giant floppy disks, playing Moon Patrol. It
Oh
was just
yeah.
like mind blowing. It's like, wow. But I was always frustrated. It's like, I can't do this stuff with a keyboard, man. How come I can't
Oh.
use NES controller?
Well, I just remember as a kid, like when we were learning all this stuff, like when you look at the keyboard now, like it makes sense. Like I'm glad it is the way it is, but like, why isn't it A B C D E F G? Like, why is it A S D F G H?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Why are they jumbled? Oh, because the typewriter was jumbled, so they didn't get clogged. Like, I get it, I guess. So,
Ah,
I mean, that is actually interesting because I'm trying to think in like elementary school. I mean, we did have typing. We did have a typing class. I want to say starting third or fourth grade. But I'm wondering if earlier, like, did you guys have to take like typing classes like for not necessarily keyboards, but like for typewriters and stuff?
no,
Like,
I
you
don't
guys didn't
recall
have a
ever
typing
like have
class?
not a typing class. Like we had a lot of computer time.
Oh, okay.
I remember in school, but yeah, no, I can't remember any classes specific. I do remember we played like games that were like typing games, but I don't remember anything like focused on typing.
So
But
it was more than just Oregon Trail and Number Munchers. Like, you had a game where
yeah,
you actually it forced you to kind of muscle memory how to type and all that.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
because I was gonna say I feel like that's familiar to me too. I just remember like when we get to certain level, which I mean, we must have been playing games to get to the level, like where all of a sudden we would get like a black sheet that went over the keyboard, like where our hands were, so we could type out like the sentences above, without looking at our fingers.
yeah. I was just going to ask you about that. There was like a it was like a little shelf or something they would like put over. I remember like the fronts of the computer keyboard or something like
Yep.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. And then you'd always have the one friend that was always just like crushing the typing, and you're just like, man, just
Right.
let me look
So
at my
that
thing.
I know.
Yep. Oh my god, so fast.
I've always been a bad typer. I
Yeah,
just
I've definitely.
I've never been able to get my speed up.
I don't know. I feel like I like went downhill, like with because I mean, especially now, like I feel like I don't type. I mean, sure, emails and such at work, but I mean, I think we use our phones for so much now that my typing skills like are nowhere near where it was when there was AIM and like instant messenger was like first a
Yeah.
thing. Because then I feel like my typing skills, because like we were like texting or typing messages like all the time, so I
Right.
think my skills were honed in at that point, but they've definitely gone downhill now. What was your first like instant messenger handle, Chad?
Oh man. I think it was like, what was it? It's like Thaddeus 70 or Phineas 77? Phineas 77?
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds like a sweet hacker name.
Yeah, it was based off I had this weird obsession with Phineas Gage. I think that was the guy's name. You ever heard of this guy?
The name sounds
It's like
familiar.
a
Like I was gonna say, who
story
is
of
this?
like Phineas Gage was like a rail worker or something like that. And he had like a spike
A spike go through his
like
head, and
go
he
through
was
his head, and like
yeah.
it like changes his, it was either like he was like an angry dude and he got the spike and became like chill, or he was like a chill dude, got the spike
I
and
think it was the
became like
chill.
a
Yeah, if I remember the either made for TV movie or whatever documentary we watched in elementary school about that guy. Yeah, I think he was a calm dude and then became angry when the spike and lived, but like
yeah.
when the spike went through his head, and then yeah, I feel like that's when we all of a sudden, I don't know if we were talking about Freud or what else after that, but they were just saying like the human brain and how it works and the complexities of it. So I do remember that. What a great handle.
Right.
Mine wasn't nowhere near as fun. I think mine was Glenn One Plake. And if you remember Glenn, or if you watched any extreme skiing, like when the X Games kind of first came out, Glenn Plake was like a skier that had a mohawk, and he skied for like K2. Um, ask me if I still ski. I do not, but that's just what I was into at the time.
Rad.
Or more importantly, I feel like my neighbors were into it, and like so I thought it was cool, and like now I'm like I don't know if I really did. I was just on board because they were.
What kind of mohawk was it? Was it like a
Well, I'm talking like,
tall like,
yeah, like he shaved his head. It was right down
yeah.
the middle, and it was as tall as like my wrist to my shoulder, length.
Oh damn.
Like yeah, it was out
Like
there.
spiked, like spiked or
Oh,
fanned?
fanned
Fan.
is the
Okay.
best.
All
That's
right.
how I'd describe it. I think.
All right. Right on. Is there do you remember faux hawks? Remember when
I mean, I
faux
remember the
hawks were
name,
a
but
thing?
but how was that done? Was that just
It was like a mohawk, but instead of like charging it up, like you like quaff the front down, like you like Justin Bieber did a little bit or something, or like
okay?
no wait, I'm giving it too much credit. I think it's like a if you would give yourself like a normal kind of like what kind of haircut is it? Like some type of undercut haircut, and you leave a little on the top. Well, you just take that and you grease it up into a mohawk, so it's like a
Oh
wide fat mohawk, and you like brush it forward.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like I wasn't on board with that idea, or I'm just wondering, did I maybe not have the greatest hairline to pull it off? I don't know. Because my hairline now makes it look like I might have a mohawk any day now. I don't know. It's getting pretty high.
just turn that widow's peak into a mohawk, and
Yeah,
you're good to go.
exactly. I think that'd be the next cool thing. I hope for my sake. So, um, well, Chad, for first time viewing though, like, what would you give this movie out of what are we doing out of 5?
Out of 5, man, I think I would give it maybe 4.
Wow,
This
actually,
is
that's higher than I thought you'd go.
really.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say somewhere between 3 and 4. I really enjoy this movie. Is it like if anybody asks like hey, would you recommend it? I say yes, 100%. But like, is there anything super great about this movie? Not really, but I mean, but I think it's really well done. I think it aged really well, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's just just the content of it, I think, is so relevant even today. Even
Yeah.
though it's like a low tech film now, kind of like compared to like today's standards and what we have. But part of me was thinking too is like I feel like this is like one of like the first like 80s movies that felt like an 80s movie. Cuz I was like cuz what else came out this year? I was looking at cuz like Vacation comes out this year. Just something about it had that 80s vibe. That part where like you have like the big bad, which in this case it's the Whopper computer, right? Joshua.
Yeah.
Like at that point where like it's like defeated and like nope, there's like one more thing that it's got to do. You got to make it play tic tac toe. I don't know. It just it's real. It's just like
Wait, on paper, you're like, how did this work?
it's, um, I don't know. Maybe 4 is high. Maybe like 3.5. But it's just one of those movies that's like easy. It's fun, and it while having like a really heavy like topic like in the background, but it's just there hanging out, and there is some tension, right? That's kind of built with it too, but it's just kind of like a fun movie. Like I feel like this would be like this is like a nice like lazy Sunday afternoon film, if you haven't seen
Yeah,
it before.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is, I bet this movie was like in basic cable after it came out because of it being PG. Like for years, like this was just on like the TV movie of the week. Like came on. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I do remember. I remember this a lot of ads for this. I feel like I saw a lot of this film just from like TV ads or promos, like coming this week, or it'd be like CBS miniseries because they play like 1 hour of it with commercials, like Monday through Thursday.
Yeah, I think that what I think is really cool about this movie is the like reading up on the like how there wasn't like hacker laws. Like they probably didn't even have too much of a term for a hacker even at the time. Like I bet people learned that term from maybe this movie or after.
Yeah,
But like so it's just kind of like that. It's ahead of its time. Like the topic was probably like I'm sure watching this in '83 and computers just being like we were just talking about growing up in late '80s and '90s and not very many friends having personal computers at home at that point. So having it in '83 or even internet, like we were talking about, like internet became more prominent at what I'd say 95, 96 ish, something around there.
yeah,
And so
sounds
like
about
this is
right.
like 10 years before any of that. So like watching this on the theater, like I'm sure just juiced a bunch of people up and wanted people to get into like knowing more about how computers worked and all that kind of stuff. So I just thought that aspect of it's really cool. And yeah, it is. I mean, it is ahead of its time. Another thing I just remembered was, if I don't know if you remember the joke or throwback in the Marvel Cinematic Universe about war games, when I think it was in the second Captain America: Civil War, they find that old bunker with like old school, like basically war games ish computers, and like the not Scarlet Witch, Black Widow goes, "Shall we play a game?" And like looks at Captain America, and he's like, "What?" She's like, "It's an '80s movie. Never mind." And I was like, it was just a fun throwback.
Oh, that's cool. I never would have gotten that when I made that journey. Um, I wonder too, like I was just trying to look up like when the big like the great video game crash occurred. So that occurred in 1983, and I saw that the Commodore 64 computer kind of survived the crash. So I was like, "Oh, I wonder how many people like saw this movie and then went out and got a Commodore 64."
Oh, wait. So tell me about the great video game crash. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, it's like in 83. Um there was like a recession, and then like the video game industry too, like Atari, for example, was just like
Yeah.
flooding the market with like Atari consoles. And like they just
Oh,
like we're just making copycat after copycat like arcade game. This was like the peak of like arcades.
yeah.
Um yeah, and just people just stop spending their money. I thought I read too that had something to do with like people were like starting to do more home gaming with like the Atari console, and that maybe like killed like some of the arcade. Um like
Oh,
traffic.
like,
And
well,
then
I'm
on
sure,
top
like,
of it, Atari was just like flooding, with like games, really bad games and consoles everywhere, and they just kind of became worthless.
well, I mean, that's a good point. I think about how you needed to get in and out at a very specific time when it came to arcades, because like all of a sudden it was the biggest thing. Everybody wanted to play video games, and then as soon as home consoles were like easily accessible, like you needed to get out like right
Yeah.
away. So yeah, I'm just looking at this. June of '83, the market for more expensive games had shrunken dramatically and was replaced by new market of rush to market low budget games. Those awful games flooded the market at a huge discount and ruined video game business. Massive
Right.
industry
This
shakeout.
is where we
Wow.
get the ET, right?
Oh
The
yeah.
great ET, what do you call it?
I
Garbage
like
pit.
the garbage of ET games, like, which is still like this urban legend. But yeah, anytime you watch some sort of Netflix, like the movies that made us, like you that like little fun gem or not, tidbit comes out, um, about the 10,000 ET games that never sold.
Right, they actually found that though, didn't they? The
I feel like they
Atari
did,
Game Fair? Yeah.
which
In
I
New
don't understand
Mexico.
though. Yeah, which I still don't understand. Like, why did we feel like we needed to bury them rather than just sell, burn, whatever, build a house with them?
Yeah. And that it would just be okay to just dump a bunch of video game cartridges. Yeah, right? I don't know.
On that note,
Yes. So what would you say what you would give this movie on our unofficial 5-star scale?
I mean, I would say a 3 or a 4. I think just because of I really enjoyed the movie. There's nothing like super great about like it's nothing great about the way it's shot, and like no nothing crazy about the director writing, like no nut scenes, except for I would really like a remote control pterodactyl. I thought that was kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to know more about that. But otherwise, like I just like enjoyed the movie. It's just it's well paced. I think it's kind of ahead of it was at the time ahead of its time, but also even watching it now, I think it aged really well. So yeah, I also looked up that there was it almost looks like it was a direct sequel made in like 2010, War Games The Dead Code. I have not seen it, but when I was looking through just like the pictures of it, past the poster, you could see like they must have found the Whopper like from the original, like, and I'm wondering if they're using that to fight back in some way. I don't know. I'm intrigued. I might check it out, but it was very much a
Oh
straight to
yeah.
DVD looking movie.
Oh yeah. Totally. Looks like
So,
they were trying to play off like the Da Vinci Code movies. When was
oh, the
that
way they're
supposed
run in the poster,
Yeah.
100%, 100%. So, no, I like this movie. I definitely
Love it.
recommend it. But at the end of the day, like it doesn't reach any of my top 50 lists. Maybe 50. We'll find out. But I was gonna say I'll take some time someday. But I don't know. But I do enjoy it. So if somebody asks, oh, like, would you recommend it? 100%.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, you're more of the movie buff. I'm just kind of there for the entertainment when it comes to films. But this is like one of those movies where I tell myself like the none of the acting like sticks out in a bad or great way, like it's
Yeah.
but you're still in it. Like you're not I don't know. You're just kind of along for the ride, right? Nothing is like, "Oh my god, that was so awful," or is
It,
like
yeah. There was
I
nothing
mean, but
so yeah, nothing so awful, nothing so amazing, but also like,
yeah.
but the acting's done well enough where it doesn't take me out of it or anything.
Yeah,
So
and the story's like interesting. Like you're just it's like reading a book that's like a fast, quick read, but it's kind of fun. Like kind of reading like a Dan Brown novel, like. But
a lot of
yeah, no,
information, and it goes by quick.
right, exactly.
Well, I'm glad you're there for the entertainment. If we haven't talked about the movie The Creator, I was recommending that to it's that so that robot android one where like they fight the humans. I don't know if you remember the preview for it. It came out last year.
Yeah, it has
With John David
John.
Washington.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
I really enjoyed it. And then so I recommended this to a friend, and him and his girlfriend like they saw it in the theater, and he came back and was like, what did you make me just watch? And I go, what do you mean? And he's like, that was like one of the worst movies I'd ever seen. And I'm like, shut up. And I thought he was messing with me. And he was mad because he's like, dude, we've seen this story told like 900 times. Like, like I didn't need to see it again. And so if to not to spoil it, but like from the preview, you can tell it's got like an Avatar vibe, except for like it's robots and humans. And I was
Yeah.
just like, I'm like, okay, well, like I didn't say it was like the greatest movie of all time, but like, was I entertained as shit? Yeah, absolutely, I was. Like, the visuals were awesome. I thought it was acted really well. Could I tell you exactly where the story was going to go, like before the halfway point? Yeah, I could figure it out. Like, but yeah, but I was nevertheless entertained.
Yeah, that's a pet peeve of mine. The thing of oh, we've seen this story before, or can't they make anything original? And be like, no, honestly, you really can't do anything too original because our storytelling as like a
Oh my god,
human race is pretty much the same, right? It's kind of retelling the same stories, like, in like different times or with like different like types of people or in different places, but it's still kind of the same story in a way, right?
yep,
Or if
same
it's in the
story, same
future.
themes. Like,
But
yeah,
it's always interesting to see like somebody's little twist on it or like an art direction or like what is this world like that they're building, like in the periphery of like this main story. So
absolutely. Like, I
that's a,
mean,
that's a bummer.
Inglorious Bastards is like it was a B movie, and then Tarantino rewrote it, and so it's got the same similar themes or storylines going on, but he made it his own. But yeah, it's just nothing. I agree with you, Chad. Nothing is going to be original these days, and the things that are is what blows our mind. Like, and I'm sure like somebody could argue like I'm really excited to see Interstellar again. I feel like that was one of the more original movies I'd seen in a long time. That's probably why I enjoy it so much. Somebody could probably argue that Black Hole is basically the same movie by Disney. I've never seen it, but but I'm sure that it's got its own things or similarities to it. So everybody takes their art from somewhere else. I'm shocked that we still have these like the people that were trying to sue like Taylor Swift for "Shake It Off." I think it was like the copyright
Oh, did you see that
infringement.
one? That one is just released,
Yeah,
taking on Taylor Swift.
yeah, and it's
Oh,
just
it's so bad. My God, I'm glad you brought this up.
go for it.
Oh no, I'm just agreeing with you. Like, did you watch the entire thing?
No,
Okay, I didn't either, but I like watched like big chunks of it and like skip through and see if like the narrative would change. And the song, like that one dude was saying that Taylor Swift,
like
I
ripped
just
off
like,
the
dude,
lyrics.
it's like saying like you're trying to copyright right, like thank you. And what was this the shake it off? It wasn't the shake it off part though, right?
No, it wasn't the shake it off part. It was the players got to
Play.
play.
But yeah, the players, but he specifically was saying it was like the players got a play part. I'm like, dude, that song that you wrote came out in the mid 2000s. And when I was in high school in the 90s, people were saying players going to play. So I
Yep,
don't
hate
know,
is gonna
man.
hate. Like
It is
exactly.
exactly, dude.
Oh
And
my
this just
god.
makes me think of people that are just like super confident in what they're doing, but have like zero, like zero, like knowledge about the world around them. Their world
Oh,
is
for
so
sure.
small.
Like, and
But
then like I get like the opposite idea when we're talking copyright stuff, and like I listen to like what was that Blurred Lines or whatever is like that Marvin Gaye song.
yeah.
And like so like I remember like I think I was at it's something like I was at like a bowling alley or something, like where I could hear the beat, but I couldn't like place what the song was at the time.
Yeah.
And like I remember like that Blurred Lines came on, but at the time I thought it was Marvin Gaye or vice versa until like I could hear it clear, and I'm like, oh, and like then you have that epiphany, like yeah, that definitely was ripped right away from that other guy or that album, like that kind
I
of thing.
know.
I totally get,
This
but like
I
the
would get the
lyric thing
same.
of Taylor, oh my god, oh,
Players going
so
to
brutal.
play. I was
Yeah, they
like
are.
I was like trying to like copyright like good morning or it's just things that are just so like locked into,
That's what
like
I
the
want to do.
popular culture around you. And
Did tomorrow, yeah, at work. Good morning. No, that's my
no,
thing. I'd prefer if you didn't say
no,
that.
you're fired.
Can you, hi?
You're
Yep,
done.
that's better. That's
That's
better. Good God. All right, let's wrap it up.
anyway, wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was fun. Like it. I thought since it was just going to be two of us that we weren't going to go that long, but I guess these are the people that take up most of the time on the pod anyway. So
Well, and I don't know. I see shiny things, and like I'm excited to see how not linear this like our thought process is during this pod with the re-listen.
right,
Like, where did we start and how did we end?
Right. Exactly. I know it's like we're reviewing the movie, but we're just kind of reviewing like how it made us feel and some parts that were cool, and then a final review. But we're not giving you the entire synopsis. So that is Movie Time Machine.
Wonka was stolen from Mother Goose.
What?
I'm just kidding.
It's a grim fairy tale.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for listening to this episode of Movie Talk Time Machine, where we talked about Kath and Kim and war games, and maybe about how old we are. So, let's see. I kind of killed our Twitter action, but there is a link in the description of the pod if you want to go on there, leave a comment, leave a rating, how we're doing. Like to hear from you. Let us know. We're going to try to do this more frequently this year, so we'll see how far we get. Thank you for listening, and catch you next time. Bye.
Tune in next week for my review of Kath and Kim.